Start right, Hi, Anush.
Hi, sir.
You are on
Yeah,
mute, Anush.
I'm on live, I think. So let's wait for a few minutes. So
நான்
நீங்க
பேசுறது கேக்குதா? Hi, Anush. I can't hear you. எனக்கு
can you hear
கேட்கலையே.
me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? I am able to hear you.
Hi, Anush. Am I audible
Can
now?
you? You are audible, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
So let's wait for some time.
Yeah, sure. We will wait for another 5 minutes and we'll start the session.
So we can start. So thanks everyone for joining. So people will come in. So we'll start the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. So, hi, guys who have joined the meeting and who have taken your precious time in joining this webinar. Thank you for joining it. So, we have
Yeah,
Dr.
please switch off the
Tamilian,
music. Music.
who is the founder and CEO of Frigate. He has joined with us. So, I can go on.
Well, you can continue. Yes.
Yeah. So thanks for your precious time in joining the webinar. We have planned this webinar for a long time, and we have curated many data points, many statistics, many ideas which we feel that India would play a very great role in the manufacturing sector. So we have curated all those points, and we have Dr. Tamilinian, who is the founder and CEO of Frigate. So he has great expertise in manufacturing industry for over the past 15 years. So he has been into design in manufacturing and in multiple across multiple domains, I would say. So he'll be sharing all those insights which he have analyzed over the past 15 years of working in the manufacturing industry. So can we start, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Anush for setting the context. So
Got it.
today will be so everyone can see my screen, right, Anush?
I'm not able to see, sir. So basically, we are only there. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So the context today would be what's the history, what's happened so far. I'm only trying to consolidate the engineering exports. Okay. So first thing is with respect to that, what has history said so far, and with respect to the GDP, because at the end of the day, everything is India, right? So how much manufacturing is contributing to GDP, and what are the schemes, and what are the current exports, and what are the global investments coming in. Like there are lots of news daily, right, pouring in, and we have recently, our PM has announced 100 billion only for semiconductor, right? To be our export should be close to 1 trillion by 2030. So I'll be touch basing that, and how India could be real manufacturing powerhouse, and finally I'll be touch basing how Frigate is there for you. Okay, that's the whole story today. And finally, we'll be opting for a Q&A. This is my first live session, so please bear with me if I do something. There is any technical glitches from our side or some communication issue from our side as well. So please bear with me. So first, how it's how manufacturing has been. It's since ages. It's from Indus Valley civilization itself. We have done a lot because we are like born engineers, like, right? So right from inventing zero, algebra, chess, everything is came from India. Everything came from India, right? So first, I'm touch basing what are all the manufacturing exports, what history had said before. So right from copper and bronze tool, which dated back in industrial civilization, we were the one who started doing that and exporting, and then comes the golden era, like Maurya, like the Chandragupta regions, where we started doing those gold and silver coins, and then it has got tremendous boost while Mughal Empire, predominantly like giving those gold and silver coins with kind of etching and stamping, like to use it as rather than billets. It acted as a product. From billets to products, we have made that, and we started exporting. Then swords, during those periods, we also started exporting swords from India. And finally, like even before British conquerors, we started lots of things in textiles, right? So India is one of the major exports still now in textiles, and for textiles we need spinning wheels, right? So we started forging or casting those spinning wheels along with those worm gears, worm wheels, and cranks. So these are the initial stages where we really exported engineering goods from India. Because other than that, there are lots of things we can say: textiles, rice commodities, raw earth minerals. Everything was exported, but I'm right now focusing only on engineering side. So, and finally, there were during the Mughal period, shipbuilding came to India predominantly on the east coast side from Kolkata to Vizag. So, because Dhaka was the predominant capital at that time, right? So trading was happening from Dhaka and Kolkata at that time. So everything goes from there. So shipbuilding was one other major exports we've done. So, what's manufacturing contribution is to India's GDP? So, right now it's only 17% compared to others. I hope you are like others are from financial. Then we are paying taxes, so that contributes to GDP. Agriculture and forestry, then it's electricity, construction, hotel transport services. So only 17% is there for the overall GDP, and it's we are saying that it will contribute by within next 1 or 2 years. It will be contributing to up to 25%. That is the idea going forward. And there are lots of initiatives from the government side as well. As we have close to 11 plus industrial corridors across India, and we have 270 plus SEZs, and we have Atmanirbhar Bharat. Because I don't want to touch base those government schemes more, but these are all the contributions where government has made so far. Like both the governments, be it who ruled that for the most of the time within the history of India. So but I personally love this PLI scheme for manufacturing, because these are all the 17 sectors where government has identified as these are the right sectors to go global. So they have categorized, and they are product-linked incentive schemes were there for predominantly for materials like pharma, then drone, then textiles, manufacturing of medical devices, then specialty steel, like apart from regular steels, if you do some alloying, then it will become a specialty steel. Then automobile, then electronics, even mobile phone, everything comes under electronics. So this is what the government has put on a lot of efforts for this PLI, and it's been really utilized by the Indian probably high kind of top tier companies. Like they have utilized it wholesomely. And coming to this is the main. Right now we are into the main part of the thing. So comparing to other exports. So I'm covering manufacturing plus services exports here. So close to 778 billion is the current export which India is doing. Apart from that, out of that, close to 43% goes for services, which is accounting for IT, predominantly IT and KPO, BPOs, or financial services exports. Other than that, we have balance 47% is close to other manufacturing and exports with respect to textile, pharma, gems and jewelry, agriculture. Because this textile, gems and jewelry, agriculture is there since ages, as we've seen from my previous slides as well, right? So again, the new thing entered here is pharma and petroleum and engineering. But it's really, to be honest, it's very low compared to global index or Chinese index, the competitors which we are compared, Chinese or even US or even Vietnam. So it is very low compared to that. So what are the engineering exports? Out of these 14%, I have categorized what are the engineering exports. I have splitted it, and where we are focusing on, where we should focus on, which is predominantly into ferrous and non-ferrous. And apart from that, there are consumable durables, and we have equipment, machineries, and machine tools as well. So, which includes dies, tools for those stuffs, and like that. And ferrous, you can see castings, forgings, fabricated components, oil and gas components. It goes into ferrous. and non-ferrous it would be plastic components, those stuff, and consumable durables by the means of other allied kind of tools and machineries which is used for these ferrous and making these ferrous and non-ferrous products. Okay, so what really India is right now? So we are the second largest in telecommunication sector, and third in automotive sales, and fourth in automotive production, and 50% of the overall mobiles which is manufactured in India is being exported. So this is the overall scenario what is happening right now. And why India? So my thought process is since like it was like something like 90s for IT. Right now we are in the case for 2025 for manufacturing. So why I am saying this is I've been traveling across India for almost across the globe for almost for the past 3 years to US, Europe, and allied countries. I've seen lots of people are very bullish on India. Why? Because these are the reason. Because last year you might aware like they have signed the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. Was signed by Joe Biden. So where it says it has to be trade should be through this Pacific gateway, and there is lots of FTAs. India has also signed predominantly SAARC countries and neighboring countries like Sri Lanka. Even recently we have signed a contract with Australia as well. So these are all the things which is boosting India externally. And even there is very what is anti-dumping has been imposed by US for China to make sure that very high quality products should be only imported from China. And so these things have, and finally I could say the number of import duty which has been imposed from US to China. Like from EV parts, it has increased from 25% to 100%, and lithium-ion batteries and non-lithium, which is used for EV and both for non-EV, which has started from 7.5. Right now, it is 25%, and even for semiconductors, it was 25%. Right now, it is 50%. And solar cells, which is a very high. One of the major exports China is doing from China to US, which is close to 25%. They have increased to 50%. And finally, which is recent, where even the syringes and needles imports duty has been raised from 0 to 50%. So these are all the total kind of what to say, like these things have made sure that India can be. It's not that India must be. India can be manufacturing global player for the world. So then comes the FDI destinations. In the recent times, India is very bullish here. As you can say, most of 34% FDIs are inflowing to India compared to any other countries, even to US and Europe and China. And even recent news is that even the startups of China are hardware startups and other startups are in the downfall because there are no FDIs flowing through China because China is more people, because these things which is happening right now in India has happened before 25 years for China. So the people started there are lots of anti-communal activities coming down there. So they started imposing that to the companies, and companies start backfiring. So there are lots of things happening in China right now. So that these things are there. So like India is one of the highest workforce country compared to China. So that these things has, plus those things when we have the most youngest population compared to China as well. So these things arguments the way of manufacturing to be done from India for the globe. So as you can see, there are lots of investments pouring right from VinFast, which is a Vietnam manufacturer, setting up a plant in Thoothukudi, then Saint Gobain again in Tamil Nadu, Mitsubishi again in Maharashtra, Jabil recently have signed a contract to get a manufacturing right down south in Trichy. And First Solar is investing. Tata Motors, today's news is Tata Motors, as they have plants in north, they are setting up a EV plant right now here at Chennai, and for first time. And Boeing has set up lots of things, right? They want to source right from India, so they are setting up a plant. And even Tesla is right looking to source most of the most of the parts from India right now. And it's only what I have mentioned here is only a part of it. So there are still lots of companies are that Foxconn story, the Salcom story. Almost all the iPhones are manufactured here. So China Plus One, they came to India and they have manufactured. But so I'll answer those, but in the later parts of the stage. So then comes a semiconductor hub. So why India has boosted this semiconductor thing is because we should not depend on only China or Taiwan or Vietnam for semiconductors. So right, so we need some things to be manufactured from here. So we got lots of government funds pouring into semiconductors. Recently, they have announced 100 billion, 1 billion thing for semiconductor alone, even 10 billion. So out of that, but the thing is, even if you want to manufacture those semiconductors here, it will take time, because we need the proper ecosystem to do that and stuffs. But even though we are right now very bullish on manufacturing those semiconductors, as you know, from Tata's to Tata has associated with PSMC, and even Qualcomm is trying to set up, and there are almost Apple has already set it up. So and we have CG Power and Renesas Electronics, and Japan Stars and Microelectronics Thailand has put up a similar story, and they have also invested. So the things are moving on, but I'll try to answer the but again at the last slide. So is it enough as concerned? See, even if you want to kind of invest in manufacturing those semiconductors, but who holds the design? Who holds the design? Again, it would be Qualcomm or PSMC or Apple or Google. They'll be the one who handholds the IPs and everything. Because that's the problem right now China is also having. Because all these companies who is manufacturing the chips are manufacturing the products, but they don't have the IP. Because why government is like what they are saying is the government is trying to make sure that IP should come to the manufacturer. So that's why these kind of OEMs is moving out of China. That is one of the major reason as well, other than what I've said earlier. So these are all the things. So it's whatever is happening is not at all enough, because we can be a manufacturing hub, to be honest, but it is because if some country, it is not possible, but within next 2-3 countries, if some countries are again, if there is a huge manufacturing facility available, or else if China is rebounding again, then people will move towards there. So that's my thought. What my thought here is, we have to be there should be a lot of product companies here where IP should be held by ourselves, and these companies should manufacture also here. And as I could say, for India, because only 17% of it is manufacturing, right? The GDP is only 17%, and as you can say, out of that, even we have close to only 14% is only comes from the engineering goods. So these should be increased. How it should be increased? Even that 14% predominantly comes from 1 or 2 players, which is Reliance, Tata, then Bajaj, and other very small players who does close to 200 to 300 crores per year. Most of them are traders. Most of them are even kind of exporters. So there are no real engineering exports right there for India, to be honest, right now. Like how it has it has been for I could say in the 90s how it was IT how it worked, right? So in the 90s there were TCS, there was Satyam, then there was HCL, then there was L&T, then there are lots of companies pouring in. So, but why they came to India and built? Because of the manpower, the low cost manpower here. But after that, there are lots of other companies boomed out, right? So there are lots of product companies as well. In the likes of Zoho, there are Freshworks, there are Rnscape, then Kissflow. There are lots of companies who came out of that and built like $1 billion companies right now. So that should be there for these kind of to boost the manufacturing or boost the product development. We need to have indigenous companies within India. So to do that, we need lots of startups or lots of guys from these kind of Qualcomm or even PSMC from Google has to come out and start a hardware startup. So once they have the IP, once they build those PCBs, right? Because designing those PCBs or things is not a single. It's not an easy job, right? It's a VLSI. Everything is involved there, right? So we need some more startups to be on that space. But right now there are some startups who's doing pretty good, but predominantly they are into defense and aerospace. Or yes, Tonebow Imaging is doing very good job in exporting those sensors, which is used for aerospace and defense. And IdeaForge, as you know, they have recently gone for IPO, where they do drones, and they have collaborated with Galaxy as well recently to develop different systems for India, and even they are exporting those systems for Israel and US as well. And we have Ati Motors, where they do motors, and Unbox Robotics, which is one of our customer itself, where they do warehouse robots. And even the gray orange I have mentioned, but they are also moved towards SaaS kind of model right now. So people, we need to have world class product to be manufactured, designed, manufactured here to make sure that is exported. So that is the major thing. And we should hold the IP and product development here. And finally, you need the quality. Even to compete with the likes of Vietnam or China, we need that quality. Without that quality, it's very tough. How to attain those quality? We need proper systems, everything to be there, and the ecosystem we have to build right now, because even the Vietnam and China, there are lots of ecosystem supporting ecosystem which is built parallelly for those stuffs. But here it is pretty tough, but it is doable, and we need to build lots of special purpose machines to make sure that things are getting automated. So for example, in the manufacturing, if the same machining component can be done in a different way, if the same CNC machine is made only for that component, then it is automated, right? So the manufacturing cost can be reduced, and it can all lead to overall production, right? Increase in the boost in the overall production. So what are the challenges which is right now faced by the exports business? It's predominantly there are lots of things which we are also facing, because we are an export company, and predominantly compliance and regulatory hurdles. There will be global competition, which I have already mentioned. Then supply chain disruptions, exchange rate volatility based on then quality standards. And as I said, why India is a powerhouse right now? We have trainable workforce, but still we need lots of vocational training institutes. And grey collars, there should be lots of grey collars as well. And investments on manufacturing is boosting right now. So this could be the reason where India can be a reliable manufacturing powerhouse. So right now I stop there. for overall this about how India could be your next manufacturing partner for the globe, and going forward, it would be what Frigate is trying to solve here. So, Anush, shall we proceed, or let's wait for some questions? Okay. So, thank you, Nirupama. So, next question. Next is Divagar Shukla asked how to acquire initial projects to start. So, and yes, again asked, should we start with a product or service approach? It's like cat in the wall. So, it's egg or chicken game only, right? So, it's everything. Even for a software company, you have to say where to go for a service or you have to go for a product, right? So, my 2 cents is product is always good. If you have a financial backup, stick to that and develop your product, and that will take to you anywhere, right? Because if you go for services, then it will be like daily. You have to work for your daily stuff, and you cannot build your product at the time because it's very tough to stick out of that services business and to do product business, because there are lots of software companies as well who after software as a service, but they cannot like doing website building, digital marketing services. But even though they think of doing those product, they don't have time or money to do that, right? Because if you start the business, it should be operational, right? So all the money and time and effort you will be putting again on that only, not on the other side, right? So that is pretty tough. So if you have financial backup, if you only have financial backup, start working on your product and try to sell it to your first customer. That's my 2 cents. So anything other than that? So shall we proceed with what Frigate is right now doing?
Absolutely, yes.
So
Any
I have
queries?
one more. Hi, go. Okay, that's more of inbound pitching. Okay, okay. So what we are trying to solve here. So as I told you, these are all the problems which is being addressed to some extent by Frigate, where we could be our one stop. This is predominantly for global buyers, where we are trying to solve the problems. So there are lots of issues, right, from vendor sourcing to long lead time or design for manufacturing problem, and whether the vendors having that, because you might get those capacity while we are auditing, but at the end of the while start of the execution, things will turn away, right? So that should be there, and even quality control issues, in process quality control, and again final to quality control. Then comes your product, right? So these things, everything which Frigate takes care, and you are saying, these are all our USPs. We have specific team for each and every commodities which we are exporting, right, from castings, be it ferrous and non-ferrous, and forgings, be it open forging or closed die forging, hot forging or cold forging, ring forging, centrifugal castings. We have different teams for different commodities here, because our business segment, business units itself, we have categories based on that, and even we are own design for manufacturing team experts who can understand on seeing the drawing what the output could be if it is manufactured. So we will help in design for manufacturing as well. And there are lots of stories which I will be sharing in the later part, where we got this China plus one, where they have sourced things, manufactured things from China, and right now they are manufacturing proudly from India with the support of Frigate. And even we have batch production. Not only we are into product development, even you can rely on us on shipping those containers with respect to your allotted batches. And even we have warehouses facility, across the globe with third parties where you can utilize based on your just-in-time concept. And finally, we do lots of localization, import localization for as well for Indian companies where they can utilize. For example, if they are sourcing it from China, Vietnam, or even US or Germany, we can localize their imports within India with our factories which we are managing right now. And everything this whatever I have said so far, it is tech enabled right from sourcing. If you upload a drawing or thing from your computer, you will get your parts at your desk. uh, uh, those every conversations which is happening can be monitored within our platform. So that is what we are trying to solve here. So yeah, so that's explained here. So we have RFQ management, we have centralized order dashboards, you have realized, just think like Zomato or Swiggy for manufacturing. So you will get to know what is happening, whether it is motor on the machine, whether it is QA is in process, whether material has been procured, or whether it's in post processing, whether it is in kind of assembly, whether it is in packaging, or whether it is in dispatch. So everything is integrated within our platform. So you don't want to worry about the NDA IP part as well, because we don't share your drawings to kind of anywhere. It would be holded by us, and those drawings cannot be replicated, where we sign a strong NDA as well, and you have the live DFM updates as well. And these are all on the buyer side, and on the supply side, those factories which we are managing will have kind of the same kind of more of a communication which is happening between ours and Frigatus. Frigatus are our manufacturing partners, where we kind of communicate everything within our portal so that no data are missing. And even I have to add here about how we are onboarding those factories, right? We have at least close to 1,000 data points where we, based on the capability of the factory, we kind of audit each and every aspect whether the right part can be manufactured from the right kind of a factory. Because while we onboarding, we normally kind of give them samples to do, and make sure that with respect to their machines, what machines they are having, and with respect to the samples only, we are kind of onboarding those Frigaters before giving us the order, before giving them the order. And this is our exports. We are currently close to 12 countries we are exporting right now, and it will keep on increasing. So these are some of the success stories which we have done so far. This is close to 53 components. It's automotive lighting for a supercar company based out of Italy. We have done that. So this is a complete new product development plus sampling, prototypes plus samples, plus real-time products which we have done for a company. Close to 250 sets we have done, and which has parts, sub-assemblies and assemblies as well. It's a very good use case where we even did FEM CFD analysis to get the confirmation from the end customer, and even we did homologation as well. So this is what we have took the complete life cycle of a race car headlight systems, and we have delivered. So right now they are trying to give us the next sets of lighting systems as well. And this is which we have done it for a company called which is a local company in India. But why I am mentioning is this is the starting point where we did close to material planning. Complete, which is this crimping tool. This was again, previously it was done by a German company, but they want an Indian company to do to make sure that it is done in the shorter notice, because they couldn't identify who is the manufacturer was, because that crimping tool was. So they came to Frigate. Right from reverse engineering, we started this project. Again, design and development, material planning, machining, wire cut, check and delivery, everything is okay. Why I am sharing this? because it's very tough to crack Indian market with the business model we have, right? So, but we have somehow cracked this, and with this conference, they have given the next. They have introduced us with their counterparts in USA as well, and right now we are almost completing the samples, and we are ready with within next months. Full productions will be taken care by Frigate, and dispatches will be there within next 1 month. So this is for a US brand, whether it's a precision casting where close to 7, 8 processes were involved here. You can also see to short down the time I am trying to reduce. You can also see the same in our use cases in LinkedIn as well recently. You can see the videos. So this we done for a D2C brand based out of US again, where we did pressure die casting along with sheet metal fabrication with adhesives and magnets. Again, these are all more of parts, sub-assemblies and assemblies, which includes rigorous post-processing techniques where it took a lot of time, and we have done it. So right now, within next 20 days, it will be also production batch will be ready, and we'll be sending this as well. So recently we have done a CO2 mold as well, where we have done it for a company in Israel. So you can see the size of the mold, right? So we started dispatching this as well. So we, even if it is any process in castings, we do methoding, gating, everything which is in-house. So we work very closely with our, even though we are outsourcing, we work very closely on the engineering part with respect to, because all of our manufacturing partners doesn't know all the items, right? So because we have that engineering capability to make sure that the first time right is right within the first time, right? So first time right is first time right. So we make sure that all the processes and documentations are done, and once those PPAP is getting approval, then only we will get to the production. So that's what we are taking care in the with respect to sand castings. So yes, I am done with the right time, so we can take it from there. So is there any question and answers? Sorry, questions. So I'll answer.
Yes, that was a very good session, sir. I got a lot of insights in actually. So actually, Divakar Shukla sir has asked something, sir. With limited investment, are there any hardware field which still has scope for players to enter? That was that question.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, see, I just wanted to enter with your kind of strength. Even if you, for example, even the semiconductor industry is booming like anything, and the mobile manufacturing is booming like anything. So you can do something which is supporting to this ecosystem, like raw material processing or post processing or some manufacturing. Even like you have even those because even not only US, even in India they are importing import duties have increased for Chinese products right now to make sure that to promote make in India right now, for especially for these hinges, bathroom fittings, everything they have increased the import duty to make sure everything is manufactured in India. Or like furniture items and furniture fittings like hinges, rails, everything. So you can think of those stuffs, and we can really start. But do one thing: either you can do product development or do manufacturing. It's very tough to do both at the same time. So you can rely on some contract manufacturers like Frigate if you are very good at designing and selling the product. If you are very good at manufacturing process, then you can set up a manufacturing plant and you can scale.
So he has also asked another question, sir. Do you see additive manufacturing growing at rapid pace in India, especially in terms of business?
No, I would say like I am not a right person to answer, because additive manufacturing is it's only kind of what I could say is you can't scale there, because there are a lot of companies who shut down because we are talking about 3D printing a metal component for ages, right? But it's happening, but not at scale which we are looking at, right? So that's not a, if I am there, I would not be the right, because you can see there are two different things, whether you may want to make money or you have to make company big scale, right? So at the end of the day, you will be making money. But if you want quick money or something like that, there are opportunity and you have the growth is there definitely in additive, but you can see margins as well. But you cannot do scalable products in additive because there are lots of companies right now. If even if you want to do additive manufacturing, try to choose your niche, and even you can kind of invent some machines which is doing some critical parts. So that's what.
Got it. Mr. Amit Ganeti has also asked hi, how are you different from other players like Zetwork or Capgrid?
Yeah, they are doing really good, but different. How could I say? Like we are predominantly focusing on Zetwork is they are also doing exports and imports. Sorry, local manufacturing, but we predominantly into exports, and we work more on the supply faced company where we work closely with the suppliers rather than the demand side. So that could be a difference. And most of our executions, almost within this year, almost 60% of our revenue will come from the exports.
Got it. Any Q&As, any questions, audience? Okay, sir, I have a question actually. I'm very much curious
Yeah,
about it.
please.
So, US generally plays a very critical role in deciding the whole world's policies or anything. So,
Yeah.
how does US election play a very critical role in India's manufacturing sector, and whether who will benefit you, Trump or another guy?
Definitely Trump, no other goes because he's a capitalist. That would be there. But I am not against anyone, right? So because once he comes, he'll definitely kind of it will boost again. Then the sustainability and SDG goals will go for a toss definitely. Then he will only promote again power energy sector will get a boom, which again boosts Indian infra energy power companies, oils, everything will get boosted if it gets because coal is for everything and running that you need all these stuffs, right? All eight subsystems.
Got it. Got it. Any questions? So another question, sir, which I am very curious is, uh, when it comes to semiconductor manufacturing, it is dominated. Currently, it is dominated by Taiwan, I would say, because we have TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or Foxconn, Pegatron. All of those are from Taiwan. Do you see all these kind of companies investing in India will actually boost import localization? Whether the players like Foxconn will import sub materials like parts from local vendors in India.
So what you are saying, I can't get your question. So it will increase import localization. You are asking, right? Yes, definitely. Definitely, it will increase import localization because things. Because see that difference again. See that's why I said actually on the slides itself. Again, even though it is see they are utilizing only they see India as a factory, India as a dump yard. To be honest, the global players. Okay, so they really that won't be because the again the businesses, IPs, everything will be controlled by the Qualcomm, not by the Indian counterpart, right? So even if an Indian business side of them want to localize, then I don't think it is possible. But iPhone has proved that. So there are chances. Yes, they may because if the cost is low, then if the competition is high, then why not? But it is still the thing is with the OEs or the IP holders.
Got it, sir. Another interesting question, sir. Hi, how do you ensure that Frigate doesn't act as a trader between customer and supplier during contract manufacturing?
How does you ensure that Frigate act as a trader between customer and I can't understand the question itself because that is what we are doing.
So another
Any
interesting
case study
question.
for sheet metal? Any case study for sheet metal stamping? Yes, as is shown that actually sheet metal stamping right now we are doing. It's an interesting product where we do tiffin boxes for an Indian D2C customer. It's a lunch box where it involves stamping along with injection molding as well. And previously, I worked for a company called Marathon Auto Components where we did stamped plus hemming close to for a 0.5 sheet stainless steel sheet. So SS316 sheet. So that was very good use case. I would say we've done it close to 2 years back. And other sheet metal stamping, we have done some clutch parts for an OEM here in Chennai itself. So where it involved sheet metal stamping as well. So yes, we to be honest, we have not done on bulk as of now, but we have done. We are ready for bulk manufacture because all these samples and like what are the critical cases we have done. We have it was there. We have has been done already by Frigate. So that's what I could say.
Another question. As a contract manufacturer,
Okay.
how do you manage logistics? Do you have registered vendors specifically for logistics or do you rely on third party providers?
So again, it depends on the customer to customer basis. It varies. So sometimes we work with because freight for like we have this freight. Because we work with lots of startup companies for logistics as well. Rodo, there are companies like Rodo work closely with us, and even we work with freight forwarders as well based on the customer requirements. But everything is whatever customer is satisfied and okay with us, we'll be proceeding with this. And everything is based on the approval.
Another question is from LinkedIn, sir. Actually, this is out from Nirmal Kumar, sir. This is out of box question. What is meaning behind Frigate?
Okay, so you can Frigate. It's a world's sixth fastest bird, and it has a unique aerodynamic capabilities where it can survive over the sea, flying for almost 8 to 9 hours without any food. So it's like what I can say sustenance and like I can't remember the name. So நீங்க தமிழ் தான் நினைக்கிறேன். So I can தமிழ்ல நான் சொல்லிடுறேன். நிர்மல், I know you. So அது என்ன சொல்றது? எப்படி சொல்றது? தமிழ் எனக்கு அந்த வேர்டு கரெக்டாக ஞாபகம் வர மாட்டேங்குது. பெர்சிஸ்டன்ஸ்னு சொல்லலாம். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வாட். Resilience, yes, resilience. அதுக்காக தான் ஃப்ரிகேட்னு பேர் வச்சோம். Thanks, Kadir. Thanks a lot, Kadir. You are always supporting since ages. So, Rajat Bhattacharya.
Sir, another question from Rajat Bhatta.
Yeah, I've seen that. So I'll answer. What type of manufacturing facilities does Frigate currently own? Currently, as I told, we are not a manufacturing company. We are only a contract manufacturing company. We don't own any facilities, but we do own the capacity of the factories, which is close to 200, and at least for this factory we utilize close to 20 to 30%, sometimes 100% of these factories, up to 25 factories which we are currently doing our manufacturing. But we don't own any factory as of now. Chanakya Takar. So how AI would impact custom part manufacturing in India? It's a very tricky question. So AI, use of AI. So we could first of all we could easily quote. For example, if we there are lots of data sets for the same kind of different kind of topology for any designs or things are accumulated. Then with seconds we can arrive at a quotation, and even to extend those, if we connect those machines, which is in my vision, which is in our vision, Frigate's vision. So with the data, so this machine is a right machine, this vendor is a right machine for manufacturing that particular part. At that level, we can go with AI to for custom manufacturing in India. So that's that, up to that extent we can go. Yes. So Divakar, again, you are the one who have asked lots of questions today. Thanks, Divakar. So with limited investment, are there any hardware field which still has scope for placement? Yes, again, if you want to have limited investment, then it is again product game. So you have to do lots and lots of market research and identify some niche, and there should be some demand on that as well. But focus predominantly on the exports, not in India, because to convince an Indian customer is always a tough if you are in the manufacturing product, because India is again a cost-centric economy, right? So try to identify the niche, and your kind of subject matter expertise should match with the niche you identified, which is easy for you to sell. But again, it's everything is on the execution. We can say now a lot of things, ideas, like designs, products, everything. But at the end of the day, you have to execute and sell it. That's it. Again, Divakar, how Frigate got its first project. So, again, as I said, the subject matter expertise helped me a lot here because I worked. Frigate, I could say, we started in 2011. The first project which we did it is a pedal kind of a drilling machine, which I delivered to Kerala. It is done for a small company where that is the interior part of Kerala, where they don't have power for running those low grade wood carving and wood stuff. So I developed a pedal driven drilling machine. So it was way back in 2011, which is dispatched by me itself from Coimbatore, took those machine in a bus, and I have transported it in 2011. And once we started Frigate as a private limited, the first order which we got was from my existing employer, which is Acoustics India, where once I told that I have started the company, he immediately gave me a machining components to do, and we have built that. I'm very happy that I got the first order from my existing employer.
Sir, another question from Sundar actually. Share some case study or insights on white labeling of two-wheeler or four-wheeler auto parts.
Okay, that's great. As of now, we have done KTM dash plate. KTM, you know, right? That aftermarket accessories we have done for a KTM dash plate, and we have done clutch parts assembly as well for a tier 2 OEM based out of Chennai. So as of now, these two came to my mind, and as I told already, we have done automotive lighting part itself, complete 43 components with the 7 set of sub assemblies as well, right? So I can even showcase you right now. So my screen is visible, right? So you can see this. So it's close to 40 total and the 7 sub assemblies. So we have done almost sheet metal, plastic, tubing, everything we have done here, copper, bus bars, everything we have done it here. So small items we have done. So you can see clearly, even some parts we have imported it from Vietnam and we have done it, which can't be manufactured in India. So this is one success story which is on two-wheeler and four-wheeler. And you can share any drawings or even a samples. We can do right from even if it is an assembly part which has plastics plus pressure die casting or forging plus machining. So we can do sub assemblies as well because we have identified for each kind of a commodity, each kind of a topology of the size of the component or the drawing, we can manufacturing and deliver it to you. That's what the IP we have built so far within our team with respect to different, and we have different set of team to do different tasks as well with respect to the process.
Okay. Another question from Majid Kumar sir. Frigate focusing only for export projects.
Yes, on the business side, we are only focusing on export projects because, as you know, contract manufacturers or B2B manufacturers like us, it's very tough for us to scale in India because we are anyhow we are doing it from third party because India is already a cost-centric economy. If you are from a purchase side, you should know, right? So you can anyhow add one more guy to solve it, but we are solving it for Indian players almost for 5 to 6 companies like Giza. We have done Bonfiglioli, then we have done it for company called India Pistons. So we are doing it for Indian companies also. But right now focus is on overseas. But maybe in 5 6 years we may come to India as well to make sure that because things will change, right? It's not that the same thing will be there in the next 5 years. So focus is on overseas, but we are doing it already for India. If the design is there and you want to do it at scale, because we do lots of import localization as well as I mentioned earlier. So we have done welding cables, we have done other type of wiring harnesses, and we have done even the different boxes which is for a startup which is from India because we are also solving the regulatory issues where India has imposed for the Chinese imports where almost there should not be any imports from China which will be approved as BIS to be sold in India. So that problem also solving for our Indian customer right now. Hope that answered your question.
So another question from my side, sir. So can I ask? So you might have visited many countries across the globe, visited many important clients. So when you visit, buyers across Europe or US, how do they see India? How do they see India's manufacturing ecosystem when compared to especially to
See,
China?
there are 2 3 things aspect I can say, Anush. See, there are more people who doesn't know India is a manufacturing first of all. Okay, on the buyer side, and some people I could say where they have entered probably 4 5 years, even 10 years back, where they have very kind of uh, negative responses from the manufacturers who are here, right? Because India is not like China. Because China, you go to Shenzhen, you have something. You have to so to Shanghai, you have something. There is an ecosystem built. But unlike India, there are lots of ecosystem, but it is spread out. For example, you can say in Faridabad, Pune, Gurgaon, Jamshedpur, then Chennai. These are all automotive hubs in India. But each and everything, they are doing the same thing, but in different locations, right? So each and everything has its own ecosystem. Even the same part, if you manufacture it from Hosur, will vary from if you are manufacturing it from Pune or even Coimbatore. So everything is, so the overheads, the manufacturing cost, raw material cost, logistics cost, everything is there in, right? So that's the reason. And the third thing, I could say it has increased because I visited 3 4 times in the past 3 4 years. So what things has changed because recently I met a German customer who came to, right? So
Yeah.
who came to our office itself because of their regulatory issues and the mindset. It's very tough for them to what to say, because India is very flexible. India's culture is very flexible because that's how India is booming right now, right? So even a German or even the downfall of Britain is the same thing. They are sticking to their own thing. They are not flexible. So that's the reason, and they are seeing really India as a culture. For our culture, they love India is a colorful country. India is a low cost country, but colorful country. They want to visit India, but on the buyer side, yes, there are lots of things happening with respect to because they know, right, things are moving from India because they have the statistics already. So they lots of people even used to visit India right now for the past after the COVID. So they are coming to India and they are sit with the manufacturers and get those components exported right here. And the trust factor has been increased, I could say, because India is leveraging that very well across the globe. So that's my thought process. Yeah.
Any other questions from the viewers? So I would like to rephrase the question which was asked by Amit Ganeti sir. He is
Okay.
asking whether are we a out and out trader or are we adding any value to them, value to the OEMs, let's say.
We are not a trader, so trading we don't do trade. Okay, right from like we don't do steel trading, we don't do product trading, and we don't have any kind of inventories as well. We add value in each and every parts or designs we have, drawings or things. We add value, be it from product development or design for manufacturing or process development even, because the same product can be manufactured within a different process for better pricing or better quality or better aesthetics as well, right? So that's the value engineering Trigate is providing right now. I know it's very tough at scale, but we are managing it, and that's how we have close to 100 plus customers globally right now.
Got it.
And we take care of the quality because a trader never takes care of quality, right? We follow each and every quality management principles, and we ensure quality parts is delivered right at the desk of the customer. Because our ethos are good price, like what is it? Good price, better lead time, best in class manufacturing, right? So with right quality, we deliver at the right time.
Got it. Any other questions? Interesting questions? No.
Okay.
So shall we
Thanks
wind up the session?
everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we can wind up. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable insights. It was really interesting hearing you. And thanks, viewers, for for giving your valuable time in our webinar. And I hope you might have got some valuable insights about India's manufacturing capabilities and how is India a reliable contract manufacturing destination. So if you have any queries, please mail to our sales ID, sales@frigate.ai. You can mail it to us, and you can even mail to manufacturer@frigate.ai. Any queries, we will be able to answer. Thank
So
you.
thanks Anush for curating the session, and thanks everyone who spent your valuable 1 hour time. It's very encouraging. So let's come up with one more good session
Absolutely.
afterwards. So I hope it helps somehow. It may not, I don't know, but it may help at least one or 2 points which I have told or we have told. So let's make in India for the globe. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Making India for the globe. Thank you.
And thanks, our teammates, Muthu, Raji, Vimal. Those are all sitting in front of me. So setting those, it's more of a studio setup. We have made it within our team, and even Anush as well, who has helped me a lot, because the Anush is the one who has framed this entire presentation as well. Thanks a lot, Anush, for your time and
Thank you so
inputs
much.
as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.